It was pure bliss. It was the happiest I ever felt in my life. For 2 hours, I wasn't thinking about the heat, the Viet Cong. I was in a galaxy, far, far away.
You loved the movie.
I went back and saw it every day for 2 months. Then, when there was news of sequels, I became excited for those and watched those many times at the cinema.
Did you also like the prequels?
Yes, I loved the prequels just as much.
What did you think of the Disney movies?
I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was like I was in Vietnam all over again, hearing the screams from my mother as the Viet Cong chopped her life away. Everything I loved about Star Wars was destroyed.
Did you watch The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker?
I did continue to watch those films, hoping they'd be different, that they'd fix what came previously, but they only made it worse.
And that led you to Star Wars YouTubers.
YouTubers like Overlord DVD promised the sequel trilogy was going to get retconned, saving Star Wars, but that wasn't the case. It wasn't until I came across your videos on him that I saw Doomcock for what he was, a liar. That took me to an even darker place. I wanted more Star Wars, but Disney Star Wars was not Star Wars.
Overlord DVD, known as Dictor Van Doomcock, is a fraud. In 2023, he started having Kamran Pasha on the channel as a regular. Together, they push the agenda of Sparrow, which has been exposed in the previous videos of the Sparrow Files. To summarize Doomcock's con, it started with the rise of Skywalker. He famously really grew his channel then, talking about how the production was a disaster. He provided many details and rumors of what was going on in this production, and people gravitated toward it, giving him the reputation of a credible YouTuber. However, the only thing he was right about was the movie was terrible. When you go back and review everything he said, all the rumors he presented, it was all bullshit. None of it happened.
The film is essentially about broadcasting the story of Luke Skywalker to everyone in the galaxy. Episode 9 involves time travel. This has been acknowledged and is now well known. Sheev says, execute Order 67 through a hologram, exactly as I reported. The Millennium Falcon gets blown up. Leia, Lando, Chewie, 3PO, and R2-D2 die.
Even after the script leaked in September 2019, he continued to make up fake rumors about the production, reshoots, emergency CGI, and multiple cuts. One of those cuts, the George Lucas cut. This led into his next arc, the Lucasfilm Civil War. He made several videos about the power struggle within the company, which would ultimately lead to the firing of Kathleen Kennedy, something he said was going to happen several times over the course of 2 years.
According to this rumor, obtained directly from sources with direct knowledge of the production, Kathleen Kennedy has been banned from the Mandalorian set, and more, I am informed that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are in the process of seizing control of Lucasfilm. If Kennedy has been banned from the Mandalorian set, this suggests not only a loss of power for Kennedy, but an actual state of hostility inside Lucasfilm that could be characterized as civil war.
He even declared a winner of the Lucasfilm Civil War, Jon Favreau.
The Lucasfilm Civil War was real, and it appears that Jon Favreau has won that war. And regarding the end of Kennedy's tenure and the existence of the Lucasfilm Civil War, it appears once again that #Doomcock was right.
How exactly did he win? If you've seen the Book of Boba Fett and Mando Season 3, that doesn't look like winning to me. And most importantly, the highly anticipated expiration of Kathleen Kennedy's contract came and went. She wasn't fired. Her contract was renewed. The sequel trilogy still exists in canon, something that Doomcock hinted is going to get erased, and that is something that Kamran Pasha is still pushing on his Patreon. Doomcock predicted Han Solo would make his CGI debut in the Book of Boba Fett finale. When it didn't happen, he didn't admit he was wrong, he blamed reshoots.
I know that Han Solo was in there. This episode was incoherent and disjointed, and I think the effect of patchwork quilt reshoots and desperate re-editing was evident.
Oh, I was right, but they did reshoots. He's even defending himself in the comments. As far as my sources go, I think this disjointed and incoherent episode proves that they were spot on, that Disney was editing and reshooting this mess up to the end. When Doomcock's sources are questioned, he has Star Wars meltdowns. He becomes a total Karen and whines and cries. People need to believe him in order to continue his con, because his perceived validity is everything. That takes us to March 2023. Kamran Pasha had appeared on the channel before a few times, but this time they met with a bigger plan in mind. Doomcock in his videos is always saying,
I cannot independently verify what I'm about to tell you. I must present this information as unverified rumor.
And these rumors you need to,
Please take it with a grain of salt.
even though he has his own way of boosting his fake rumors,
Doomcock was right. Once again, Doomcock was right. More proof comes out that hashtag Doomcock was right. I cannot independently verify unverified rumor. Hashtag Doomcock was right. Please take it with a grain of salt. Unverified rumor, grain of salt. Rumor, right. Grain of salt. Once again, Doomcock was right. Rumor, right. Doomcock right. Rumor, Doomcock right. Rumor, Doomcock right.
despite this con being very effective, it's limited. Why have one clown push rumors when you can have two? That's where Kamran Pasha comes in.
And we are on with my friend, my brother, my ally in the war to save pop culture, Kamran Pasha. And as it turns out, once again, we are in sync, amazingly in sync. I had released a video yesterday concatenating a whole bunch of Indy 5 information that had come flooding in. In that was a part about Kathleen Kennedy being called in to talk to Iger. And then I got a message from my friend Kamran here that basically confirmed what I had said and then posted some more detail from his contact Sparrow on his Patreon. And so we are here today to add more depth to this conversation, some more analysis, and I guess to pat ourselves on the back for being correct in a lot of ways.
Now with this alliance, Doomcock can make anything up. Kamran can come in with his Sparrow update saying the same thing, and with two sources saying the same thing, the audience assumes that it's truthful and they are duped. The reason Doomcock and Kamran are saying the same story is because Doomcock and Kamran are working together, purposely deceiving the audience for financial gain.
Since we cannot personally verify this, I am presenting the following conversation as rumor and conjecture only, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. Pat ourselves on the back for being correct. Rumor and conjecture only. Rumors that are seemingly being validated more and more every day. Rumor, correct. Rumor, validated. Rumor, correct. Rumor, validated. Rumor, correct. Rumor, validated. Rumor, validated.
Now you may be wondering, you said Kamran is a Disney shill. He's a psyop. Why is Doomcock working with him? Doomcock is falsely known as being a badass in the Star Wars fandom. He doesn't want Disney to fail.
What makes your channel and what makes this panel different is that we all love the underlying material. We don't hate. We're not coming from a place of hate. We're coming from a place of love, and we're hoping it gets better. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Is it going to get better?
We're hoping it gets better.
That's what I'm hoping. You know, a lot of people think that I hate Disney, that I hate Lucasfilm, and no, I hate what they're doing. I hate that they have fallen so far from their mission statement. And listen, I would love nothing better than for Disney to return to sanity, to go ahead and start producing good quality family entertainment again.
So he doesn't hate Lucasfilm, doesn't hate Disney. He wants them to do better. Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. This guy has the biggest anti-Disney Star Wars channel on the platform, and he's fucking sucking their dick. I want them to do better. I don't hate them, you guys. I don't hate Disney. I want them to do better.
Make wonderful things, and I will support you again. Everyone will support you again.
He will support Disney again.
Well, some people are just too angry to ever support you again, but look, I think we need to...
I'm too angry to support Disney again. Come on, guys. Subscribe to Communist Plus again. They're losing all the subscriptions. This guy's the future ruler of Earth? Fuck him. He's a goddamn Disney shill.
My channel as trying to save pop culture, not just bitch about it. And
I'm trying to save pop culture, you guys, not just bitch about it. Hey, I was right about those rumors. Sparrow. Kamran, what do you have to say about Sparrow?
From the center of the earth, this is Victor Van Doomcock with my friend Kamran Pasha, bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Doomcock wants his subscribers to stay angry, but maintain hope. The sequels are going away. Kathleen Kennedy is going away. Star Wars can be saved. Don't be a black pill. This aligns perfectly with Kamran Pasha and his Sparrow agenda. For the next few months, the two fake sources would converge many times, fooling their audience.
Doomcock, it's always wonderful to be on your channel, and thank you for inviting me. And you have some incredible supporters and fans.
Kamran even goes out of his way to vindicate Doomcock's reputation and track record.
We're finally beginning to see you've been right all along, and the stuff that you've been talking about for several years is coming to fruition. And I'm just absolutely excited that we both have solid sources within the system, within the Disney world, within Lucasfilm. We have them, and they're not the same. And they're coordinating. In the last couple of weeks, they've just been coming together with the same information, which says a lot.
Well, I'm excited about this collaboration.
These two are literally telling you right here that they will be working together and talk about their converging sources. There is no secret that it's a collaboration.
Fourth time in the last 6 weeks that you and I have had coordinated intel dumps literally on the same day and really within the same hour that we put out information. Because when I put my information out, within seconds of me putting it out, people are like, hey, Doomcock just posted a video. And it parallels what you're saying. This is the fourth time now in about 6 or 7 weeks that's happened. And, each time that intel has proven to be accurate as far as we can tell based on the information we're getting. I'm coalescing with independent information, which we've done now 6 times in the last 6
That's
months.
very true. That's very true. This is incredible news, Kamran. Kathleen Kennedy's account has been temporarily, at least, deactivated, and that she is away out of the office on some kind of leave for the next 2 weeks, according to her schedule. And those problems apparently spring in some way from the Acolyte. And you have also published something on your Patreon about this. I would like to hear what Sparrow has to say about all this.
Okay, well, what's amazing is, and I think it is now lucky number 7 that you and I have reported independent sourcing of the same story. It's now been 7 times in 2 months now, right? And what's always happened now is that they almost parallel. Like you'll put out a report, and 15 minutes later, my report will come out, or vice versa. And so I was not aware yet of your incredible video that you did this weekend about this impending all hands on deck meeting. I was actually just working on a script, was doing my thing, and then I got the emergency broadcast system call from Sparrow over the weekend. Just before we began, I put out a quick flash on my on my Patreon that Lindelof is out according to deadline, right? Just as we began, and I credited our friend Sparrow. And just now, as you and I were talking, they just sent me a text saying thank you for the credit. They saw it. They're like, "Yep, I told you that Lindelof is out." And I got the emergency broadcast system call from Sparrow over the weekend. And so right in the middle of this, my personal spy just sent us a text saying, "Yep, thank you for letting people know I was right."
Absolutely wonderful.
7 times Doomcock's sources and Sparrow converged. This was all by design. It was a collaborative effort to boost both parties' revenue and credibility. They were successful in doing so. Doomcock's views and Kamran Pasha's patrons grew. And in these videos, Doomcock pushed all of Kamran Pasha's major Sparrow scoops. Kathleen Kennedy being fired, FTX, The Acolyte is a fake show, the Ray movie isn't happening.
I'm delighted to have you here, and I would hope that you could go ahead and bring us up to speed on the latest rumors from Sparrow.
Iger said to her, quote, "Indy has to make a profit or she, as in Kathleen Kennedy, will not get to retire. She will be publicly shamed and fired." End quote.
Oh, ouch.
You said, what is the leverage? And
That's exactly right. That was my guess based on other information that my spies had told me. Would Kathleen Kennedy bring poor Daisy Ridley out on the stage with some kind of empty promise that this movie is going to happen? I mean, would she be that cruel? And the answer is...
Ask Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins was brought on the stage on Celebration to announce her movie, and that movie is canceled.
So yes, these people on the Kathleen Kennedy side of the company are fairly reckless about these kinds of things. They would think nothing of trotting poor Daisy Ridley, a down-on-her-luck actress, on stage, getting her hopes up in order to throw a smokescreen out there for fans.
Because I always want to bring it back to my favorite imaginary project, The Acolyte, right? So Sparrow did say, if you remember, Sparrow said all these projects on hold. Sparrow said, because again, I asked him, Sparrow's like, look, Sparrow still has seen no evidence in the office that this project is real. It could be that she might have $300 million in filming a show. I don't know. Sparrow said, I don't see any evidence of that. Your sources also confirmed what I was speculating before the Sparrow figure entered my life some months ago. I was speculating this, and now they confirmed it, and now your source independently has confirmed it. There was never a full show. Otherwise, they would have the money to pay off Karen McCarthy more than $5,000 to let her go from the production, right? They never had hundreds of millions of dollars to make the show. They were clearly filming something. There is footage of something that was shown at Celebration. And the way Sparrow's always portrayed it, it was like some kind of sizzle reel, which makes sense. If you're saying 3 short films, those are the pieces you need to make a sizzle reel.
Sparrow has come up with a fascinating breaking story, and by God, we're going to run with this, Cameron.
Well, I just want to say, and again, for the viewers watching, to get the sequence of events of how you and I are talking today, I did not know that you had any information on Acolyte. None.
No,
right?
no.
And the reason we're talking is that I forwarded you the message, the alert that I put out on my Patreon a few minutes ago that Sparrow just told me this. You saw that and said, I have news on that front. Let's get together and talk. So again, we are coalescing completely separate, independent sources. That's why I know my guy isn't lying. It completely confirms what your people are telling you. So there we are. Since Bob Chapek was mysteriously fired from Disney, to this day, we still don't know why, right? Mysteriously fired from Disney 10 days after the FTX scandal broke. I have been publicly stating since then that what intuitively felt true to me was that there was some hidden investment in FTX that Iger and the CFO Christine McCarthy had embroiled the company in as a gamble to cover some accounting holes that they had. When Chapek was about to find out about it, or did find out about it, they got him out so that he wouldn't blow the whistle to the SEC. At one point, some of your sources started suggesting that might be true. They actually started saying that there's an FTX problem, right? I believe you at least one source said that to you once.
Kamran Pasha has a Patreon that you guys should subscribe to. I'll go ahead and put the link in the video description, as always. Kamran, bless you, my friend. We will be talking a lot, I believe, in the near future.
In addition to giving Kamran Pasha a platform and spreading the entirety of the Sparrow propaganda on the YouTube channel, Doomcock and Kamran took the con to a new level. They made a clickbait video titled Disney in Talks to Sell Lucasfilm, George Lucas is the buyer, major rumor update with Kamran Pasha.
What you're about to hear is a conversation with Kamran Pasha recorded last night that will rock your world. Because the source, codenamed Sparrow, has reason to believe that the buyer for Lucasfilm may be George Lucas himself.
This is probably the biggest story that my source Sparrow has brought to my attention, and it's really wonderful that and I know you have completely independent sources, and this one was a walk-in apparently, so are paralleling it.
Yes, it was a walk-in source, which I normally am fairly suspicious about, but it was so detailed and it dovetailed so much with published facts and other rumors that I had received as well, that I decided to go ahead and just present the entire post verbatim. But this is what the source said verbatim, just so we can get on the same page here, Kamran.
I'm just going to read from the section of my Patreon that I put out there. And so I'm just going to get straight to business. This is what Sparrow said. Bob Iger and Disney lawyers have begun discussing what the sale of Lucasfilm would look like, as they have identified a buyer, and they use a big B, right? A buyer who has expressed interest. So there's somebody who has, it's not theoretical, because the Lucasfilm sale conversations have become serious enough for a proposal to begin to be drafted. Because of that, apparently, and Sparrow saying this based on their own intel from being within the company, Disney has put down an order stopping all unproduced development at Lucasfilm for the time being, indefinite hold. That means no further work on anything that hasn't been filmed yet. So that's been put on. Don't do any more work on this, because the new buyer may have their own opinion about that project, right? And that also, this did not shock me, that also includes the fake Rey movie that Kathleen Kennedy, has been rambling about for several weeks now, that Daisy Ridley's coming back as Rey, right? And that Mark Hamill is coming back, and Mark Hamill said, I'm not coming back, right? And so whatever. But I mean, so that took the wind out of her sails, because they're like, well, there's nothing we can do on that, because the new buyer might not want that. Guess what? The new buyer's not going to want that, right? But this is what shocked me, because I was like, are you sure?
This video did extremely well for Doomcock and went viral in the Star Wars community. The video is clickbait garbage, but it feeds into the Sparrow narrative. It gives fans hope. Hope that George Lucas is coming back. Hope that the past is being erased. Hope that the future of Star Wars is better. This was followed up with an even more ridiculous video. Leslie Headland fired at Lucasfilm. Acolyte will never air, claims source, codenamed Sparrow.
Sparrow reached out to me through our bat phone system we've set up for communication today to give me news that didn't surprise me, but it's important it came out today. Sparrow confirmed, and this is not a rumor, this is their confirmation, that Leslie Headland is no longer working with Lucasfilm. They're no longer part of the company's inner infrastructure. They've been removed. And so the other thing they've confirmed is the part of the process of Leslie Headland no longer being an employee of Lucasfilm is that her Acolyte show, The Mysterious Acolyte, has been essentially put into, as Sparrow puts it, soft cancellation. That's their play. Their play is they're just going to not talk about it anymore. They're going to memory hold it. It will always be, it's coming out soon, God willing. We just got to make a few more things happen. And until eventually no one talks about it anymore, which is exactly what happened with Ryan Johnson, who's much bigger than Ms. Headland. And that's what they did with him.
Disney is on fire right now. I mean, all these dismissals, all these executive dismissals, all these firings, all of these situations. This is huge, folks. This is huge news. Sparrow has come up with a fascinating breaking story, and by God, we're going to run with this, Kamran.
At the time of this taping, I've not yet heard the information from your source. So I'm delighted to hear that they seem to be coalescing with what I've heard.
I got this 2 days ago. It was a big Acolyte update from a very good source from my Hollywood Spies, and I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit. According to this source, the show is out of money and they are trying to get more, but every attempt to get money has backfired spectacularly. Leslie has spent money on making 3 short films in hopes of releasing them on social media with the aim of getting fan support, as Leslie calls it, pulling a Ryan. The main problem with this is Leslie has failed to make anything that's any good. It's very clear Leslie is way over her head and has no idea what she's doing. And when asked, this is incredible news, Kamran. This is it. We're not going to get this atrocious acolyte show. We're not going to get all this crap. It looks like it's going to be forgotten in the dustbins of Disney history.
For all the doomtards that like to cry, he reported it as a rumor, Kamran Pasha is literally telling you that this is not a rumor.
Sparrow confirmed, and this is not a rumor. This is their confirmation that Leslie Headland is no longer working with Lucasfilm.
And Doomcock is reporting it on his channel. He's collaborating with Kamran Pasha. Doomcock was wrong. Leslie Headland was not fired. There's no evidence the acolyte will not happen. George Lucas isn't buying back Star Wars. But why isn't anyone holding these two accountable? Because if you can't see the deception initially, it's easy to just trust what you hear. The hashtag, a subliminal message that infects viewers. It oozes credibility. You hear it so much, it becomes a part of you. And when someone challenges the entire system, you defend it with conviction. Without respect, we reject. Hashtag Doomcock was right. You don't know he was right. You didn't review all his videos, took notes, and checked for accuracy. You believe he was right. You believe it so much, you get big mad when someone says he isn't right. And you will defend him all over the internet. But you don't stop there. You become a join member. You join the Doom Army, where you proceed to circle jerk all the other Doom soys until the day Kathleen Kennedy leaves office. And whenever that may be, no matter how many times Doomcock has been wrong, you're going to believe he was right the entire fucking time. With the release of Ahsoka, Kamran Pasha is sticking to his insane sequel trilogy retcon narrative and has given the show nothing but praise. He is a Disney shill.
Ahsoka Episode 8 Open Thread, deeply moving season finale. Oh yeah, filled with action, heroism, sacrifice, and surprises. This show's clearly not over, and I am excited to find out what happens in Season 2. After a long period of quiet, the bat phone rang today. Hello, this is Kamran Pasha. Oh, hi, Sparrow. You're my secret sword that I talk about on my Patreon all the time. Yeah, you're very credible. And I finally have a new update for our Disney Insider Sparrow. So it appears that Lucasfilm transitional leadership under Jon Favreau has indeed moved forward with Season 2 of Ahsoka, even as the Kennedy remnant tries to create new drama by planting nonsense with YouTubers. According to Sparrow, Lucasfilm has reviewed all the relevant data from ratings to Rotten Tomato scores and feedback from fans, and has decided that Ahsoka is worth investing in with another season. Oh yeah, Sparrow. Sparrow also told me what the big plan is for the future of Ahsoka, and not only does the world between worlds serve as a backbone to the story is currently envisioned, we should expect to see more of the gods of Mortis, the Father, the Daughter, and the Son, who will play a pivotal role in granting the unimaginable power that Baylan is seeking, a power that has the potential to change the past and alter many timelines of Star Wars history, not just that of the sequel trilogy.
Kamran started appearing on the channel in March 2023, and you can see the rise in Doomcock's views and Kamran Pasha patrons. I was wondering if Doomcock would have Kamran back on the channel, considering he was not a fan of Ahsoka.
Screw this. Star Wars is dead, folks. Or at least my desire to watch Star Wars is as dead as those zombie stormtroopers. Star Wars under Disney is a lifeless, shambling corpse, reanimated by $4 billion and a bunch of people with no idea how to write compelling stories. I'm sick of the whole damn thing.
But what does that mean for Overlord DVD and the Sparrow Alliance? Kamran will continue to push his fake news Disney Shill agenda, publicly liking shows such as Boba Fett, Kenobi, Ahsoka. Will Kamran Pasha want to talk about Sparrow on a channel that isn't directly aligned with him anymore? Will Doomcock continue to push the Sparrow agenda on his large channel? Doomcock also didn't like Kenobi, which Kamran absolutely loved.
Now, I am hearing some other opinions, to be fair. My friend Kamran Pasha, for example, has some interesting things to say about what's going on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. And to be fair, I'm going to present those views in another video, along with some potentially good news about all of this, from a longtime source that could mean there is some hope here. And I'll bring you that view as well, folks.
And with Kathleen Kennedy's contract coming to an end in about a year, they definitely are going to clickbait the shit out of it.
Because it's what you do.
Oh. It's what you do.
Overlord DVD has expanded his con on the Star Wars fandom by making Kamran Pasha a regular on his channel, by unconditionally pushing the Sparrow agenda. In addition, by pushing the Sparrow agenda, he is combating the black pills and shilling for Disney Star Wars. His subscribers need to stay angry, but they must always have hope. Never give up on Disney. That is the message. Star Wars is more dead than ever. Fans are slowly waking up and realizing that Disney Star Wars is not Star Wars, and there is no hope in saving it. With all the absurdity coming from Kamran Pasha and his Patreon, and the exposing of it with the release of the Sparrow Files, perhaps we've seen the peak of Sparrow. Or perhaps not. One thing is certain. The alliance of these two frauds are beneficial to both. They will continue to lie, cheat, steal, and possibly kill to keep their narrative alive. On the next episode of The Sparrow Files, we dive into the arch nemesis of Kamran's Patreon, the Blobs.
I'm going to say this without naming names. You can all figure out who we're talking about because there's a lot of them.
It is a tale of what happens when you go against Kamran in his Sparrow agenda. I'm Darth Melvin, leader of the Knights of Melvin, and this is The Sparrow Files.